All right. Good evening, everybody. It's Sunday, day 13 of the 100-Day Challenge, and as a Sunday tradition now, we have the lovely Mrs. Silvas, who's going to bring us some joy and beauty. We hope you have a great Saturday so far, and one thing that I want to share with you today in this video is Amanda had asked me to write a manifesto for Be That 1%, kind of a what would you say, like a belief system of someone who would wear that shirt. And so today I put some music on, put my headphones, went in complete silence, and came up with something that I'm about to share with you. And so this is the manifesto for Be That 1%. So here we go. And then Amanda and I will kind of break down line by line what it means after I read it. So here's the first line. Be That 1% is more than a phrase. It's a mindset. So when you say be that 1%, I want people to really understand that it's not just words, that there's a mindset that goes behind it. It's a way of thinking. It's an identity, right? So that's the first line. The second line is...
I think you should just read it all.
Yeah, I'll probably read it.
And then just break it down
I'll read
that
it all.
way.
That's what I'll do.
You have a sparkle on your face.
Thank you. Trying to look good for you. Be That 1% is more than a phrase, it's a mindset. A unique psychology that causes you to do what 99% of the people won't do. It's a choice to be the light so everyone else can see. It's a decision to use fear instead of being controlled by it. It's a reminder that you are unlimited and that whatever challenge you face, regardless of how hard it is, how painful it might be, how uncertain it could look, or how long it takes, you can and will make it happen. When you live by this mindset, you accept full responsibility for your actions. You agree to take part in changing the world for the better by first changing yourself. Be the change, be the difference, be that 1%, and most importantly, be you. And the writer of this is whoever chooses to accept. I don't want there to be an author, even though I wrote it. I want someone who sees that verbiage, sees that manifesto, and says, yes, I like that. So now we'll kind of dive in and kind of break it down a little bit. Do you want to start with any line that you feel is...
Well, you already said the beginning thing that Be That 1%, yes, it's a brand. Yes, it's a movement, but it's a lifestyle. It's a constant being. It's a constant way of thinking. And I think it's important for people to understand that it is a mindset and that it is a unique psychology. And why is it 1%? What are people doing? What are the other 99% doing? So the unique psychology that causes you to do what 99% of what people won't do. And I know that we're not very old, but I think the older that we get more in our head. And sometimes because we've been around the block a time or two, or we experience things, that tends to shut us down or tends for us to get more scared than we even were when we were kids or anything like that. We start really listening to these other limiting beliefs. And I think that's what 99% of the people won't do. And I think that's what 99% of the people do in this world, is that they listen to those limiting beliefs that don't cause them to go forward. And I think what's that whole 99% of, it's either maybe people go for what they want and then they don't go past that plateau or that threshold, and I think that's a huge 99% point.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're doing something that 99% of the people aren't doing, that's scary in itself, but it's a natural cause for human beings to want to be accepted, to want to connect and want to be a part of something. But when you're creative and you know that you're beating to your own drum and you're listening to that voice that no one else understands except for you, that's scary. Because then that means that you are subject to criticism, that you're subject to judgment, that you're subject to something that may not keep you strong, and that's not easy.
Mr. Rowland just tuned in.
Hey, how you doing?
Mr. Rowland's my high school teacher. Shout out Green Valley. I love Mr. Roland. Thank you so much for always supporting us.
And Carolina, thank you for joining.
And everything that we do. We're talking about the whole be that 1% mindset right now and going after everything that you want in life.
Yeah. And how scary it is to be that 1%, because that's different and that's unique and that you stand out from the rest. And that's not an easy job. Not everybody wants that, and that's okay. But for the be that 1% person in any industry, it's going to come with some fear. It's going to come with you stepping into the unknown. It's going to come with you having to put yourself through moments where you are uncertain, you're unsure, you're scared, you don't know what to do. And it's through those moments that you're going to find out more about yourself, and you're going to become stronger. And so back to the manifesto, another sentence that I like is choose to be the light so that everyone can see. There seems to be a lot of darkness, especially if you watch the news a lot. There's just a lot of negativity going around, a lot of uncertainty. And so for anyone who is in their community or in their family or in their group of friends that could be the light, like, that's powerful. You represent hope for somebody. You're the person that says it's possible, and I'm going to do it to prove and to show that if you set your mind to something, that you can achieve it. And I think, I don't know, it's beautiful. I like that.
No, I love that line too.
Let's see, what else?
A decision to use fear instead of being controlled by it. I think everything that be that 1% represents is a growth mindset. You always teach about the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. And if someone has a fixed mindset, they let fear control their actions. Where if you have a growth mindset, you embrace the fear and you say, okay, and then you step up to it. I mean, fear is always going to be there. And it's just, fear is literally in your head. It's your own reality. My fear is completely different than your fear. It's literally your own reality. And the be that 1%er says, I own my fear. You know your phrase where you go, I own you. James has this thing where he, mainly with his athletes, and they get in each other's faces, I own you. That's what you got to do with fear, things that you're uncertain, and it's just like a feeling of uncertainty or scaredness, and you just kind of got to own up to it.
We all feel it.
I
mean, if you're doing anything that's bigger than you, if you're stepping out of your comfort zone in any way, there's going to be fear, and that's okay. It's what you do with the fear that matters. And you can either let it control you, you can be imprisoned, you can be shackled by it, or you can say no more and use that energy and use it to will yourself to do something that you've never done. It's a reminder that you are unlimited. That you are unlimited. I'll say it one more time. You are unlimited.
I am unlimited.
No matter what people say, no matter how bad your past was, how many mistakes you made, no matter what someone told you that they think you are, it doesn't matter. You are unlimited. And the sooner you believe that, the sooner you allow that to be a real thing in your life, your life will change so fast, it'll feel like a dream. And I speak for ourselves, these past 3 weeks have been insane. The amount of growth that we've had and how fast everything's moving. Yeah, it's been insane. But I love it. I love it. And I love you. When you live, so that's the reminder, when you face challenges, to remember that part of you, right? To remember that you can do it, that it is possible. That if you're facing Goliath, that it's still possible to win. It may not be easy. It may take longer than you expected. But it is possible if you truly want it. And the last one is when you live by this mindset, you accept full responsibility for your actions. This is huge. I feel like a lot of people don't do that. When something goes wrong, they'll say, well, it's, it was them, or they shift blame, or they don't take accountability. They don't say, you know what, I am in my life where I am because of the choices that I've made. Now, there are things that we can't control, and that's just life, right? Unexpected things and tragedy, and we all go through that. But for the most part, we control our destinies. We control where we want to be in our life. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we take ownership. And then we can really direct our sails into the direction we want to go.
The responsibility for your actions. And even if something didn't go 100% according to plan, give yourself credit for the things that you do accomplish and that you do, accepting responsibility for your actions. I think, yes, your negative actions, but your positive actions, things that you're actually trying, give yourself credit.
Yeah.
I think because a lot of us have, especially the Be That 1%ers, have so big expectations and standards of themselves. I know I'm guilty of this, that I forget to reward myself for the things that I'm doing good, or even the things that are so little but so hard, and whatever it might be. I need to reward myself and show that, like, because of me, because of my actions, it's this. And I feel a lot of us, like, we don't want to ever boast or feel that, but I think it's important to, if you made it happen, own up to it and embrace that and feel proud about yourself. I think that's huge, because if you are a Be That 1%er, you're going after something every single day. It's a constant being and a constant striving, and it's hard. You're wondering, do you make the right choices? Am I going to go down this way, or am I going to say yes to this thing? That's a lot of the things that we're dealing with right now, is, do we say yes to this, or do we say no to this? And who do we let into our, like, inner circle, I guess you could say. Like, that's been huge, and especially as we grow James's brand and then growing now Be That 1%, there's a lot of behind the scenes that come with it, and a lot of, like, uncharted territories that I've been really stepping into now, and giving myself the credit, a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, that I am doing a good job, and that it is going to be paying off, and that I should be proud of everything that I'm learning and accomplishing.
And right being proud of your failures. Like, owning that. Like, I failed. I messed up. I made a mistake. I did that horribly. Take ownership of that, because that's when you learn. If you're shifting blame in those moments, you're not getting the full lesson. You're not getting the wisdom that's trying to come through in that moment. So own both. Own the success and own the mistakes. Change the world by changing yourself. I mean, I'm guilty of this. I always say all the time, I want to change the world, right? But I know that in order for me to have any kind of dent in the world, I must first own myself. And I need to work through whatever is limiting me. And by me doing that, then I shine light on those around me and help that way.
Well, it's the Michael Jackson. Man in the Mirror.
Great song.
Love that one.
Right.
No, that's literally, and I mean, your last workshop that we did, you had everyone close their eyes. It was the start of the guided meditation. Listen to the man in the mirror. Yeah. You want to do all these things, or you say, look at everyone's so quick to point, like, external fingers. But when's the last time you pointed, like, an internal finger? When's the last time you really looked at yourself in the mirror and saw you for you? Yeah. And are you happy with what you see? Are you happy with who you are inside? And, it's a I keep saying it's a constant being, because it's a Be That 1%, but literally it's a constant way of life. Like, you have to be the change in your life first, before you can ever help anybody else. And I think that's why all the different self-help or personal development always says, give yourself time for you, because if you don't give time for you, you can't give it to the world. You can't give it to other people. Yeah. And if you're gonna, talk your walk, if that makes sense.
And Be That 1% is, it's like she said, it's a current state. It's a moment by moment decision. It's not you are that 1% or you were that 1%. It's be that 1%. Every moment that you're walking throughout your day, you have a choice. Like, are you going to do what you know is the right thing, or are you going to do what everyone else is doing? Like, that's a choice that is yours in the moment. And we make enough choices that are guiding us in the right direction, that we listen to that inner voice, and we listen to who we really are, not who we think we are, but who we really are. When we make that distinction, that's when we start making massive change in ourselves, but also with the people around us. We become leaders in our industry, and people just naturally want to follow, because you're guiding this great direction, and you're paving the road for so many. And we need more of that in today's times.
And I think that people, at the core of who we are, we want to help. We do want to leave something behind, like leave our legacy, leave our name, We want to help other people. We want to be loved. We want to love. And so love yourself first. And then that way you can love the world and make a difference.
Yeah. There's a song that that I like listening to here on the radio. And one of the lyrics is, it's hard to mean something to the world if the world doesn't mean something to you.
Oh, who's that singer?
It's B.O.B.
Okay.
It's hard to mean something to the world if the world doesn't mean something to you.
Mm.
So chew on that for a little bit, because I know I have for the last couple of weeks. I really like that, yeah.
Every time he says that line.
Yeah, like that was a good line.
That one.
And then we finish it off by be the change, be the difference, be that 1%, be you. Mm-hmm. Don't be anybody else, because you'll never be as good. But you can be the best you. Cool?
Yeah.
All
you should
right.
tell them about the cool moment that happened today.
Yeah, it was a cool moment today.
We shout out to choreographer, right?
Yeah, we were walking down Town Square. We were going to go see the movie. It was her sister's birthday, and she wanted to go see Wonder Woman. So we were walking into it, and
girl power.
Yeah, and out of nowhere, we hear, "Hey, be that 1%," and we both look like, "What?" And sure enough, there was a friend of ours like waving with his family. And that was a cool moment, like, you know, that our work is being recognized. People are understanding what it means and associating us to certain things, and we like it, and it was a cool moment.
I had to, like, look down and make sure, like, I was like, am I wearing a Be That 1%? Like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Like, who would shout that? And Corey's a longtime friend, but, like, we haven't seen him probably in a good year, so. Yeah. So I know, even though if people don't comment on your stuff or like your stuff.
They see it.
They see it. So if you're trying to make a difference in your community, in your niche, your following, know that people see it, even if they don't post on it. Because so many people say, James, I'm watching your videos. It's causing me to start my own challenge or this or that. No idea. They've never commented, never liked, nothing, but they're watching. So people are watching.
Yeah. And
don't think that like what you're doing isn't making a difference, because it is.
That's right.
It is.
All right.
So happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy Sunday.
We're about to start a new week.
That's right.
I get to go to Boise and to visit my sister.
Oh.
I'm so excited.
I got the house myself now.
So cranking out some creative content this week.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. All right, everybody. Happy Sunday, and be that 1%. Keep making the change. Keep being you. Have fun. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.